This is the brand new Asus ROG Phone 5, a phone that goes the extra mile for gamers with faster performance than regular flagships, an insane 6000 mAh battery, and useful features like air trigger buttons and accessory support to really take your mobile gaming to the next level. This is arguably the coolest phone to get if you're a gamer and wish to stand out from a crowd of Samsung and Apple users, or if you simply enjoy having full control over every aspect of your phone. Hey guys, my name is Vic and the Asus ROG Phone 5 feels great in the hand. And even though it's a big phone, it's tall and not too wide for a comfortable grip. But the real show is on the back, and you already saw that. The phone has a glossy finish with one unique element, a dot matrix style light up ROG logo, which can cycle between colors, flash, or show a color that you pick. I find this such a cool little touch, even if it looks a bit nerdy. The phone also has a headphone jack and a high quality DAC for great wired sound. This is a particularly pleasant surprise, as last year's ROG Phone 3 didn't have a headphone jack at all. And we tested it with expensive over-ear headphones and the sound was full and crisp with great bass. Not just that, you also get a pair of front-facing speakers that sound fantastic. So you hear perfectly where each in-game explosion and gunshot are coming from, and these speakers are also great for watching videos. Plus, with the simple Audio Wizard app, you have sound presets and an equalizer to play around with. For anyone who cares about audio, this is a considerable advantage against an iPhone or a Galaxy. By the way, if you enjoyed this video, a sub to our channel would be hugely appreciated. So on the front, you have a 6.8-inch big AMOLED display with a 1080p resolution. The showstopper here is the high refresh rate that can go up to 144 Hz for a super smooth experience, or down to the more common 60 Hz if you'd rather have longer battery life. The screen is also covered with the latest Corning Gorilla Glass Victus, which offers great protection against drops and scratches. Under the screen you get an optical fingerprint scanner, which is fast and reliable, plus you have image-based face recognition. The display itself looks good. It is HDR10 Plus certified for rich color and contrast in videos, and gamers will be happy to know it has the world's lowest touch latency response of just 24 milliseconds for instant reaction to gaming input. Asus has also fixed one of the flaws of the previous ROG Phone 3 model, which at night had a minimum brightness setting that was too high and irritating on the eyes. Now the ROG Phone 5 has much lower minimum brightness, much more comfortable. And by the way, you also have an LED notification light, which is a cool little feature that most other flagships don't have. So gaming on this phone. Gaming on this phone is a blast. But even better for gamers, you have two air triggers, one on each side of the phone when you're holding it in landscape mode. Asus describes air triggers as invisible ultrasonic buttons. For me, the air triggers are easiest to explain by comparing them to shoulder buttons on a traditional gamepad. When you're playing a game like Call of Duty Mobile, for example, you can swipe from the left of the screen to open Game Genie, where you enable air triggers. Then you drag each air trigger icon to an area of the screen, after which pressing the respective air trigger button will simulate a touch press in that particular area. Now, I'm not sure whether I would use them for every game. A friend of mine plays Mobile Legends and doesn't use the air triggers, but for racing games like Asphalt 9, they're so useful. Plus, they help keep your fingers off the screen and enjoy gaming a bit more. Now, in terms of pure performance, the Snapdragon 888 on the inside is paired with 16 gigs of RAM on the base model, and it delivers. In gaming benchmarks, the ROG Phone 5 beat other flagships with a more consistent performance and was able to maintain a slightly higher frame rate than even the S21 Ultra. Now on the left side of the phone, we have a special connector here for ROG Phone gaming accessories, and we tried two of them. The Aero Active Cooler 5 is a fan/kickstand that is a bit bulky, but helps the phone stay a bit cooler and run a bit faster for longer gaming sessions. We tested it with 3D Mark Wildlife and found it helps a tiny bit, but the accessory we absolutely fell in love with was the Kunai gamepad that turns your ROG phone into a top-of-the-line mobile gaming console with dual analog sticks and not two but three shoulder buttons on each side. And assigning the keys to on-screen actions works similarly to how it is for assigning the air triggers on the phone. Unfortunately, some games that would otherwise be a perfect fit for a gamepad like this For example, like Call of Duty Mobile don't support gamepads. Others, like Minecraft, do, and they work flawlessly with the Kunai gamepad, no setup needed at all. So it's best to check first if the Android games you want to play actually support gamepads before opting to buy one. One software feature that stands out for gaming is X Mode, which gives you control over CPU and GPU speeds, RAM performance, temperature control, display refresh rate, touch sensitivity, and more. The idea is a bit like hardcore PC gamers having access to overclocking their rigs. And of course it's not the same, and X Mode might sound overwhelming, it actually isn't. The app is very easy to use and straightforward, and even casual mobile gamers will find fun and useful settings to play around with. So what about battery life? The ROG Phone 5 has dual 3000 mAh battery cells for a total capacity of 6000 mAh. More than any other flagship you can think of, and just as you'd expect, the battery life of this phone is great. In our testing, it actually beat our record with nearly 13 hours of non-stop YouTube video streaming at full volume, which is just damn impressive, especially if you pause for a second and compare this result to what we get on the S21 Ultra or even the iPhone 12 Pro Max, which also have great endurance. We also tested battery life in gaming in 3 different modes, 60Hz, 120Hz, and the maximum 144Hz, to see how that affects the battery. So here's how it went. With the phone fully charged, we left the same game running until the phone dies. And at 144Hz, the phone lasted 5 hours and 24 minutes. The game kept on running at 120Hz, and there the phone finally tapped out at 6 hours and 20 minutes. A full hour on top of the 144 option. But notice the 60Hz setting. The phone just kept on going, and finally the battery dies after 10 hours and 49 minutes, which is a huge difference. So yes, while faster refresh rate is definitely nice, particularly in gaming, you would get much better battery life if you stick with 60Hz. Now that's not the case for regular lighter use, but in gaming you'll notice this difference. Now, having a 6000 mAh battery sounds good, but how fast is it to charge it? Now, first, shout out to Asus for including a charger in the box for free. The charger itself is quite big, but it delivers 65 watt speeds and tops up the phone to 70% in half an hour and charges it fully in under an hour. Faster than iPhones and Galaxies, and really impressive. Okay, finally, let's mention the camera, which is, well, fine. I mean, it really is fine, especially for a gaming phone. You have a wide and ultra-wide camera, and then also a macro camera, but no telephoto zoom lens. It captures pretty good looking photos during the day. Here's a comparison between the ROG Phone 5 wide camera versus an iPhone and the Galaxy. Many times photos would look quite similar, but sometimes the ROG Phone lacks in saturation and color, and images appear a bit dull. In low light, however, the quality drops quite significantly, so it's definitely behind the pack in that. And here are a few shots with the ultra-wide camera against the iPhone and the Galaxy. You can always pause to take a closer look at the differences. The lack of a zoom camera is definitely also very apparent, especially when you compare against the Galaxy, which is the juggernaut in this space. I also personally care about a good portrait mode, and here are a few portrait shots. You don't have the option to zoom in or out in portraits, but overall I do like the sharp, slightly grainy photos that it captures. Next up, here are a few selfies. This is the ROG Phone 5 and I'm Vic with PhoneArena. Let's test its video recording capabilities. Right now we're recording using 4K 30 option with HDR enabled, so you should get that higher dynamic range, and that's what colors look like. Let me know what you think about it. And now just quickly follow me around as we test the video stabilization. Now this phone has the hyper steady option, which is not currently enabled, so we're just using the regular stabilization. And let's move faster. And now we have the hyper steady option enabled. Follow me to see the difference in stabilization. Everything should look much smoother now with that gimbal-like effect. Now let's run. So Overall, should you buy the ROG Phone 5 over a traditional flagship? With an expected price around that of an iPhone 12, this phone seems downright affordable when you compare it against other top-end phones. It also has great gaming performance, so if you're a gamer, it's an excellent value. However, I would also argue that everyone else who likes a big phone should also take a look at the ROG Phone 5. The fantastic loudspeakers, the convenient headphone jack, the incredible battery life are great to have, and the camera being the only thing that is a bit behind traditional flagships. So this will do it for this review. Would you buy a gaming phone for yourself? Let me know your thoughts in the comments, and if you enjoyed this, a sub to the channel would be absolutely great. Thanks for watching, my name is Vic, and I will talk to you in the next one.